Welcome to 5 Minute Birth Stories with My Momma Village. My name is Azaria, and I am a childbirth educator, postpartum doula, and lactation counselor. And today I'm with Erica. Welcome, Erica.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, how many weeks were you when you gave birth?
41 weeks and 5 days.
And was it your first baby?
Yes.
How and when did you know you were in labor?
I actually went in, I guess, prodromal labor first. So that lasted like throughout the night. I tried to rest and I ended up falling back asleep for a few hours. And then when I woke up, my contractions had kind of gone away. So the next night is when I guess I went into like real
Active.
labor.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more consistent and it started to get more intense and my contractions started to be a little bit longer and stronger and I thought my water had not broken. But on the week that she was born, I went on a really long, hot, hilly walk in my neighborhood, which it was June in Atlanta, so it was very hot, but I like went on that long walk on purpose to see if I get things going. When I got back from that walk with a friend is when I lost my mucus plug. But ever since I lost the plug, I started to feel just like light leaking. I talked to my doulas, I called my midwife practice, and I talked to like the nurses at the hospital once I was in prodromal labor and explained like the sensation. But I didn't
Mhm.
think it was my amniotic fluid. And I talked to all three of those people, and they all said the same thing. They said, doesn't sound like amniotic fluid is leaking, doesn't sound like your waters have ruptured. So, like, you're good. But then later, when I had labored at home for as long as possible, once we got to the hospital, the nurse was like, "Oh, you started to feel leaking." She was like, "Let's just do an amniotic fluid test." And the test was positive for
Oh,
amniotic fluid. So,
how long was your labor?
43 hours,
How long did you push?
like 20 minutes, 25
Nice.
minutes maybe. Yeah.
What time did you give birth?
6:38 p.m.
And who was in the room with you when you gave birth?
My husband, my doula, Brittany Christian, my midwife, nurse,
And was it a vaginal or cesarean birth?
vaginal birth.
Medicated or unmedicated?
So most of my labor was unmedicated, which was my choice. That was my birth plan. That was in my birth preferences. But because of several factors of me being so overdue, number one, me being in labor so long, number two, my waters being ruptured, number three, and number four, I was GBS positive. My doula and my midwife was kind of like, all right, we kind of got to call it. And she said the best plan of action to avoid a cesarean was to go ahead and get the epidural so that I could rest. Because at that point, I had been awake for like 80 hours. So I was able to get like a 2 or 3 hour nap and then woke up ready to push.
What were your coping strategies?
I had a birthing comb. My one of my doulas brought a TINS machine that I used, able to use freedom of movement and just get in different positions in the bed. I just wanted to be on all fours, basically. A yoga ball, able to get into the shower a little bit. I wanted a water birth, but since my waters were ruptured, that wasn't on the table. My husband did a lot of counter pressure.
What's your best memory from birth?
Probably just her being born. They should like bottle that feeling and just like sell that as a drug because it was euphoric.
And what's something you would have done differently, if anything?
Since I was GBS positive, I knew I needed to get to the hospital at least 4 hours before delivery in order to avoid any complications with her so that I could get some antibiotics. I went to the hospital like as late as possible, but as soon as I got there, it was just like a new environment. It was unfamiliar people, unfamiliar staff. My midwives share call with another practice. So, of course, the day that I went in, they were not on call. So it was a midwife that I was completely unfamiliar with. She didn't know me, didn't feel heard at all, didn't really feel like listened to or respected. No one was like looking at my birth plan that I was like, me and my husband were like giving to everyone, that they just were kind of setting it on the table aside. I think that's kind of what made me start to like slow down and clam up and really affected the progress of my labor. So if I did anything differently, I would definitely look into a home birth, or at least at a birth center or something that just was more aligned to the type of birth that I wanted.
Well, thank you for sharing your story, Erica.